Live.
Okay.
Okay, so hello, internet world. You guys make it back to Phandalin. You report to Omendron. He sends this guy, Flabbergast, to come and meet with you. And basically, he is very, just to give you an idea of his personality, he's very prim and proper, very almost snooty. And his cat, or his cat familiar, is actually named Mr. Snibbly, and is also very, it doesn't speak to you, but you can tell it kind of has a little bit of disdain towards you.
I like its hat, though.
But Flabbergast is a wizard and the major domo of the head office, so he takes care of basically everything for Omendron and Jim Dark Magic, especially when they're away doing their own adventures. He will tell you that Omen wants you to continue collecting all the pieces for the orrery, even though it might be quote-unquote safe in the Horn Enclave. He still wants you to collect them because the Six is a very dangerous group. And he doesn't think that the Enclave will actually be able to protect it against them. Whereas he has dealings with them and can essentially ensure that the Six don't get a hold of the pieces. However, that will be difficult to obtain from the Horn Enclave because Acquisitions Incorporated has a bit of a past with them. Let's see. Where does it say? Sorry, I'm trying to find it. I read this just like an hour ago. Well, doesn't matter. Lots of stuff happened in the past. And basically, if the dwarves discover you work for Acquisitions Incorporated, they're likely to kill you on the spot. You'll be lucky to be imprisoned. And as it's a stronghold for the dwarves, it's very unlikely that you will fight your way out. That being said, he informs you that there will be a wedding taking place in the stronghold between two different dwarven families, very prominent dwarven families that you definitely would have heard of, Noble Six. The Dargan, I have no idea if that's how you pronounce it, but let's just put that in chat for you guys to. Dargan. I don't know. And the Thunderwind. The specifically between Gwendolyn Dargan, she will be the bride, and Tanis Thunderwind. The families don't particularly like each other.
His name is Anus Thunderwind with a T in front.
Yes, I was noticing that too.
Just making sure we're all catching that.
Yes, no. It was a great Thunderwind.
All right, moving on.
The Dargans are a mercantile people. They made their riches in business, whereas the Thunderwinds are more warlike. But Tanis met Gwendolyn and, by all accounts, has changed his ways and wants to marry her. And so they are going to the Horn Enclave as a sort of neutral place for the wedding. Flabbergast thinks that you can sneak in to the stronghold using the wedding as cover. He is open to... Oh, and Omendron wants him to go with you to oversee this mission. He is open to ideas that you all may have, and will support you in whatever way he can. Or, in addition, if you would like, he has access to a spell called the Ritual of Astral Transmogrification. Basically, what this will allow you to do is, if you get close to your targets, that is not necessarily like 10 feet or anything, but in the general area, it will essentially allow your soul to possess another creature. And he could put you in the bodies of guests that are arriving to the wedding. However, if you choose to go about this with this spell, there will be two souls inhabiting one body. And some of the characteristics of the people you inhabit will come, like, you will be compelled to do some of the things that they would do, if that makes any sense.
Right.
So if you have your own ideas of how to break in or sneak in or whatever, he's definitely open to helping you achieve that. But you can have this in your back pocket if you need it, or want it if you want it to be your go-to.
And it wouldn't hurt to have. So this is going to be like an elite event where we're not just going to be able to wander in.
Yeah. The Enclave, even in times of not, even in normal times, it's extremely heavily guarded. Once you're inside, there aren't necessarily patrols per se. There would definitely be alarms and people, stationed and checking certain things, but the outside is so heavily fortified that the inside is less so.
So, is the Enclave a subsection of the city, or is the whole thing an Enclave?
The whole thing is about what's it say? It says okay, so this is what it says about the Enclave itself. And sorry, I'm having to choose things to and this. And this is all things you would have probably known. Either Flabbergast could tell you, or at least Noble Six would probably have known, being a dwarf himself. So it's an enclave. It's an enclave fortress that is like a tiny town almost. It's got its own tavern. It's got residence areas, a forge and a temple, but also a very secured vault area. It's an extremely large map that you guys will be.
Okay, but 100 residents is like a castle, not like a whole city.
Yeah.
Okay. So like if we showed up as like merchants, they're going to be like, "What are you doing?"
No, not really. They've got, like I said, there's a tavern inside, a dining hall, there's a temple and a forge and an armory.
Right, but but they're not going to it's not like a city where we're going to be able to like disappear into a crowd. Like
Oh no.
we're going to
No.
be very noticeable outsiders who are probably going to be watched the whole time.
Depending on why you're there, yeah, maybe.
Because my initial thought was that we could potentially order a ton of ruby dust, because I think we have 5,000 gold or something crazy. If we got a ton of ruby dust, I could make a lot of flameless perpetual lights. That might be the exact sort of thing that they could either sell, or for a mountain enclave, just need a lot of. And I have third level slots now. I could make like 5 of those a day. So depending on how long it takes us to get there, we could show up with like 50 of them.
Let's see. Let me take you back to this map. I would say, depending on your form of travel, sorry. So you guys are there. And, whoops. Let's get you guys down there too. It's definitely further away than Neverwinter or anything. Gosh, go on the right layer so I can put stuff on the map. So the Horn Enclave is up here. I would say it would probably, again, depending on your method of travel, a week or two. Yeah, probably 2 weeks.
I mean, if I could get the materials ASAP, that's still 35 or 40.
But as far as selling goes, they would probably allow you in as merchants, or even if you wanted to like open an account and put stuff in the vault. But as a wedding will be taking place, you like they think if you go when the wedding isn't taking place, you're almost assured to not get the orrery piece because you will be watched. It's using the wedding as cover to get in, so that a lot of people will be distracted. But if you go in as merchants, it seems unlikely they would be willing to deal with you at that time, as they have a lot of, they've got a wedding ceremony to deal with, and it's really important as this is two very big dwarven names. It's very political. They want to make sure nothing goes wrong. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of. So, I mean, we've got Flabbergast here. Of our capabilities, would we carry any of that over if we're riding along with someone else?
Say that again.
So, if we use this spell,
Hmm.
would we? Would I still have clerical magic if I'm, Batilda Beardbottom, the wedding guest?
I don't know. It doesn't specifically say. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna go with no off the top of my head, but I can't say that for certain because it doesn't specifically say. It definitely says that they're the people you take over. Like they have, there's basically a list of people, and they all have desires and ideals that you're definitely supposed to have to deal with. Um,
I mean, I don't mind helping Uncle Larry Longaxe hit on a bridesmaid or whatever. I'm more worried about not being able to drop spirit guardians if we start a fight.
Right.
well,
So what if we all just go in there as a bunch of bards, and then like in every bad guy movie, just swap out. Like you walk around the corner to the bathroom, and you come out as someone else, and you do that about 3 or 4 times.
I think every time you possess someone, you have to do the ritual, right?
No, you're
they
not possessed. You
he
are the
would
bard.
he would perform the ritual one time,
Oh, okay.
and you would all possess a different guest.
And we'd be stuck as that guest the entire time.
Yeah,
I
until
call
the
the bride.
ritual ends. Yes.
Does this mean I get to possess the bride?
I don't think that's
Actually, yes, that is one of the people you could
Oh.
end up possessing.
that would be interesting.
Wait, guys. Do what this means. We can we can get two of the higher up peoples on each side, cause a big fight. They all we get everyone distracted because it'd be like a big old turf war, and the other two sneak out around the back. That would be epic. Start a huge division between the dwarves because we got
that
two
is-
brothers trying to
that
kill
is-
each other.
If you possess people that may or may not be one of the
Some of them might have that desire.
Some of them might have that desire. Some of them may have the complete opposite desire.
Right.
There are people who are dedicated to making sure that this goes peacefully.
So you'd have to fight against their desires in order to.
Yes, so you may not necessarily be able to do that.
Well,
There also may be people who are dedicated to making sure this goes horribly wrong.
And so you wouldn't have to try very hard with them. Yeah.
well, something about our research because I'm ready to start a dwarven division.
But all right, he just
So I'm just saying you might want to have multiple plans in case you can't just start
Yes.
a massacre in the middle of this.
so not would if we start a massacre, would that go against our beliefs,
Or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably mine.
our alignments?
I guess that's up to you guys. That would be a role-playing question that the DM can't answer.
I mean, I feel like this is a really elaborate Romeo and Juliet joke. Like this whole arc.
Oh. It is a little bit, isn't it?
Well, like I
I
said,
can't-
this is definitely an option. Like, you guys do not have to do this. If you can think of other, this is just this is the fallback plan. If you guys can't think of
Yeah.
anything,
Well,
like you
so-
could pretend to be guests yourselves. You could sneak in as help, or there are lots of different ways you could go about this. But this is the fallback plan.
Yeah, but like starting a dwarven, like just a huge fight amongst the dwarves, it just sounds too good to be true.
I mean, here's an interesting question. Could Noble Six have a contact that could actually connect us?
You know what? Probably.
I mean, he is.
What can we have you roll, Noble Six?
Oh, what do you want?
I don't know. Let me look at
Adam Colby.
let me
He's
look
not good
at
rolling.
skills.
I mean,
We might
You
just
get
do a luck.
D100. Please don't take that one. It's pretty bad.
literally all we know about Noble Six is that at least five others have died, and that he's a dwarf who is a noble.
How about a history check? History seems like something that would.
With a history check, I like to think that there is someone, and this is literally just him, like, seeing if he remembers or not.
Yeah,
Can someone back me up for advantage?
We
I don't
can't.
know.
This
How would someone give you? How would
Somebody else
someone
help you see.
remember?
yeah, it's about how I expected that to go.
Because I don't have any modifiers. It's a 1. It's a 0 actually.
Yeah, so you're like, man, who was it? I know I've been there before, but what was his name? And it is just it's on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't seem to remember his name at the moment. Maybe when you get there, you'll recognize someone.
We'll just have to call on Noble 7.
See if he's still alive.
Why do you like this?
Um,
Yeah, Noble Six. I can't believe you can't remember your own people.
Wait, can we figure out which bards are gonna be playing there or music?
Are they gonna have a
musicians?
band? Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we could bring our friend. Here's
Yes.
your friend.
No,
That is-
we cannot sacrifice our top interrogator for that.
you could pose as the entertainment
Mhm.
for the
No.
wedding.
Nope, we'll be so bad we'll get thrown out.
You've got like
No,
2
no.
weeks to
We-
teach him how to be good. You can do that, right?
Yeah,
No.
we can
So
practice.
we go there posing as all of us pose as a group of entertainment,
Mhm.
and then we do like every heist scene, and we all walk to the bathrooms at the synced up time, and we change into like a normal outfit,
Right.
like all the other people are wearing for the wedding. Then after a while, we take out 2 guards, and then 2 people become guards, and we just continue that cycle.
It's like
You know,
like a
in
hitman.
every great heist movie. And then we could also bring Plan C.
I was going to ask about. Yeah. Do we have Plan B or C or whatever it is?
We could bring the Plan Wolf, and he kind of like distracts. Like if things go south, release him. He distracts. They all get distracted, and then that's our getaway.
Plan
At this
W.
point, I feel like at this point,
Sacrificing the dog. Interesting.
No, they're
play.
supposed to run away too. It comes from the
You'll
opposite direction. You
cause a
run the other
ruckus
way,
and then
it
get
runs
away,
back
yeah.
to the woods.
Mhm.
I generally feel like Harrison. Plan C. He's our mascot.
Whoa. I'm not saying Plan C is going to actually fight. He's just going to pop out, act all aggressive,
through,
and then run.
yeah.
But
And then run
enough
off
for
into the woods.
yes, but enough for everyone to get distracted on him while we
Yeah.
book you out the back door with the timepiece.
Things.
How are we
Yeah.
gonna get Plan C in there?
I'm sure
We
we
could
can figure a
astral
way.
project.
I'm sure, like when we become guards, and then we start off guards, then become guests, and start
Mhm.
turn to guards. We could figure out how to slip Plan C.
Wait, could one of us astral transmog into Plan C?
You know what? Plan C will be part of the entertainment as when we come to institutions, and then we stash them somewhere.
Well, because
And
if
then
one
we
of
are-
us could, be controlling Plan C, then he could be like our dancing wolf or something.
No, we're not going to control Plan C. He's just going to be his mascot.
He's
He's
gonna
not
be his
going to
own
do
thing.
anything but try to just scare him and act tough.
Mm.
So, anyways, anybody have any proper ideas? Besides going there as dancers, then becoming guests, and becoming guards.
Before
sneaking.
you guys do that, something completely unrelated to anything. But on this map, it really bothers me that there's no lakes running into that, or no rivers running into that lake.
Which one?
This one.
This one.
Oh, the Evermores?
Yeah.
The
I
Evermore
get
Lake,
that's more like a swampy area.
Swamp
but-
Lake.
There are rivers all around this, and not one of them runs into the lake.
I mean, my thought is that, yeah, it's probably like, that's not really solid ground around it. Like,
So yeah, maybe this whole like river kind of
yeah, like the whole Evermores is like a shallow lake with bits of mush and
Kind of,
marsh and trees
Yeah.
sticking up, and then it
Like
just
ankle
drops
high or-
out.
shin high, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it's just
like,
like-
this is all swamp, and then this is where like the deep water is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could see that.
I'd still like for a river to run directly into
Yeah,
it.
right.
It just seems like it would make sense.
Be into it. Well,
That's okay. Anyway, back to making a plan.
right. You create a lake.
Okay. I'm almost wondering.
If we see if Ack Inc. has intercepted any wedding invitations, make copies of our own and show up.
Also, no, Ack Inc. would not have received wedding invites to.
Well, I didn't say
the
received, I said
Horn Enclave.
intercepted. They didn't receive them; they stole them.
Oh, gotcha. Sure. Roll. I guess just straight luck, because that's not really one of you guys getting a check. If you roll a d20, if you get above a 10, they've got invites for you. that you could potentially use.
Easy. Fuck.
Oh,
Well, never mind.
Hey, we
That's
both
not to
rolled the
say-
same.
that's not to say that you guys couldn't go up there and ambush some guests and steal their invitations. But there aren't any that you just have laying around.
I mean, here's a good question. What did Akink do to piss them off so badly?
That's what I was trying to find earlier because I know I read it. But I can't find it at the moment.
Hmm.
I will keep searching, though.
Oh, it's on TV Tropes.
What?
It's on. There's a recap section on TV Tropes. They were framed. It looks like they were framed for a theft.
Yeah, there was a frame job, but also they actually did steal something.
Ah.
Hmm.
If I
Okay, yeah. It looks like, yeah, they did steal something and they were blamed for another theft.
yeah, there was a lot going on in it.
Yeah,
Um,
I do kind of wish, for the fact that there's a whole setting book, I wish that there was a more concise summary of Akink. Because, like,
Yeah.
it's a podcast, but it's also a ton of live shows. And not everything is, like, available in a reasonable place to get to. And it's not always clear what order everything is in.
Yeah, in this section somewhere, it said what they did. Like gave a fairly quick summary of it, but I cannot for the life of me find it now, and I hate when that happens.
I can look it up, but I'm afraid that it's going to be spoilers.
Right.
Yeah, you guys can. Let me try and find it this way.
It's all gone. You know, I feel like it'd be a lot better if I was actually able to pass my checks. Don't worry, Sash. We'll come up with a third plan, and we won't be able to fail this time. Harry failed because he can't remember. I failed because it was bad. It's Aaron and Veerheis's turn now. Oh,
Hey, there we go. Not when we needed it, but you know.
Yeah. Well, next time we're trying to break into the frog people's palace, we'll remember you.
Yeah. When I need to do history, remember what swamp I grew up in.
Maybe you grew up in the Evern Wars.
It could be. Maybe I could explain why the lake has no rivers going into it.
Yeah. It's clearly magic.
Yes, it's a magic lake.
And what you don't know is there's actually an island in the very middle where a
Oh,
castle
it's
is.
because I couldn't find it because it's in the previous chapter for conclusions
Oh.
rather than this one for some reason. So it was a summary of things that you were about to learn, basically.
One of those being that Ack Inc. has pissed off the dwarves.
So yeah, the dwarves of Horn Enclave are no friends to Acquisitions Incorporated. During a prior visit to incursion of assault against the Horn Enclave by Ack Inc., a number of regrettable incidents occurred. Those incidents may or may not have included impersonation. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Mendaciousness and violence. Also, there was a major theft from the Enclave's vaults, and there was a thing about threatening Ironbeard, sleeping with Rizwin, then stealing Rizwin's jewelry under the pretense of wanting to remember her. It's a long list, actually.
I kind of feel like once we steal the gem, if we steal it, if in the vault, if no one's looking, we leave like the Ack Inc. symbol. Just to really rub it in.
Oh, you know what else? If you're going to a wedding, George, you've got a dwarf partner you could invite.
It's true. You could have your +1 with you.
I am already like in the seat. I have a +1 to the wedding. She might not like the reason why, but it technically it counts.
A +1 implies that we have an invite.
Yeah, I know. Those invites that we don't have.
Maybe she got an invite and you don't know.
Maybe she got one.
I mean, between Noble 6 and your +1, you could, if you stole some invites, you could definitely make a good showing of being actual guests with 2 dwarfs in the party.
I mean, I also feel like I could maybe potentially get a bit of a pass as a forge cleric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys just have to figure out if you guys want to go that way. You guys could definitely make and Veerheis with his past as a merchant.
Mm-hmm.
We could put him
You
in
guys
a
could
backpack.
probably make good imposters as guests if you could just manage to steal some invites.
Yeah. Or forge some, or yeah. I was trying to see. I thought I had a forger's kit. Maybe that was somebody else.
You guys should also remember you are in Fanelin, and it's a mining city, so there are a lot of dwarfs around, especially in the miners' exchange. What's her face is a decently prominent dwarf that could potentially have an invite or help you or something like that. What is her name though? Because I am forgetting.
Things are getting spooky again.
Yeah, no. I think the music automatically plays whenever you load the map.
Well, I don't know why.
It likes to be all creepy.
Roll for perception. Sneak attack. It's the 6.
Roll
You're
for
too blind, damn it.
What was her name?
Oh, nope, that wasn't it.
Helga?
Was it?
I have no idea.
Not Sister Gariel. What was the dwarf lady's name?
You put it in chat, I think, but that was way long ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I take notes. Sharna Queersterin, new mining exchange head.
Yeah. Her. She's a dwarf.
That literally took me like half a second to look up. It just didn't click. That's what we needed.
Why do I not have her in my list of handouts?
Sharna Queerster. What you did was, at some point, you just gave us everyone, even people we hadn't met directly, and I think she might have been one of those.
Gotcha. So I didn't make a handout for her, probably.
Yeah, because she doesn't show up in the notes. Yeah, there's nothing in the notes of like we met Sharna Queersterin. She just shows up in the list of NPCs.
We could bring the keg robot with us.
Yeah.
That's actually not a horrible idea.
Party
You know what?
time.
We could show them that we mean business.
I mean, I'm also wondering, is there a legitimate connection we can figure out? Man, it would have been great if Noble 6 had been able to just get us an invite.
Or George, if we were able to steal some invites beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing, is it Bronze Bottom? The, like, high-ranking dwarf in Ack Inc.?
I have no idea.
Isn't it like Benwin Bronze Bottom or something? Interesting. Oh, well, apparently he's dead. That's the issue. Or not? It's unclear.
I went to the page of all the characters that are like of all the Ack Inc. major characters in this, and Control F for dwarf, and nothing popped up.
It looks like it looks like he is ambiguously dead. Huh. So, that's not a helpful connection.
Well, being that he would be a prominent Ack Inc. member anyway, I doubt he would be.
That was kind of my thought, but so, all right, then I think our we should at least go talk to Sharna Queersterin. Although the fact that we've never met her before and are about to go ask her for a favor doesn't bode well.
Let me bring up her information.
I'm also really annoyed we let Harbin get elected. But I also kind of felt like we didn't have a choice.
We didn't have a good plan in place, and otherwise we'd have stayed there and spent a bunch of time with that.
This seems like a good picture to use for her. Especially since it's labeled with her name.
It's just a picture of Weird Al wearing a Viking hat.
Somebody did a fan art of her for some reason. Okay, now then. Come on, upload a file. Okay. We're gonna add a handout. Here you go. Sharna Queerstrian. So all you know about Sharna is that she took over the position of the overseer of the Phandalin Miners Exchange after Halia Thornton left Phandalin to seek other opportunities. But as you have gathered from around town, she kind of did that abruptly, and her just abruptly leaving is kind of odd.
So we might be unraveling a whole different. We might be dragging a whole different mystery into. All right. Could we just do like a? Well, actually, yeah. It's a good. That's what they're there for. Can we talk to our staff and see what sort of vibe they've gotten of her?
Sure.
Because they've been here more than us at this point.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So the being around town, but not necessarily having a lot of contact with the miners' exchange itself, your staff mostly just hears gossip from, the people who are there. They don't necessarily have dealings with her directly. But based on everything they can tell, she does seem to have the economic interests of Phandalin at heart. She's definitely trying to do her best to revive the mining to make it more prosperous. She does seem, from what they gather, she is shrewd, to say the least. She yeah, she definitely seems shrewd, and your staff knows of your distaste for Harbin Wester, the banker that got elected for mayor, and they will share that she's not a fan of his either. Or the rumors are that she's not a fan of his at any rate. And there are definitely rumors, though, that some of the if any miners or people any miners or employees or whatever are not, I don't want to say not performing well, but if they make a fuss, let's say, they're known to show up with bruises from time to time, and they don't make much of a fuss after that.
I mean, as players, at least, we know that some of the Fandelver stuff is semi-canon. And the previous person had Zentarum connections. I don't know. We could at least ask.
So what would you like to ask her specifically?
Man, I'd hate for this to blow up in our faces somehow. I think maybe with George as our front man, just try and go introduce ourselves. And maybe get a feel for if she's been invited. And just sort of take that as our starting point. Because if she's not been invited, none of this matters.
Roll, I guess, luck again. Let me do some numbers in my head real quick. Okay, yeah. Go on and roll just a d20. I've got a couple different options in mind, and let's see what happens.
I'm not doing it.
Let's say I haven't done one yet, so let's see what happens.
To fail.
Okay.
Best so far.
She has not been invited herself, but she knows people who have, and she could convince them to give up their invitations, but you'll owe her a favor.
Well, I think that we could potentially do the same thing that we were going to offer to the other group. I mean, what if we made her... You said, how many days did you say it would take us to get up there?
We'll say 2 weeks. I'm just throwing numbers out there. It's not a day trip.
Yeah, so 2 weeks. I have 90 appropriate spell slots. what if we make the miners exchange 30 continuous flame lanterns at cost?
Have George roll persuasion if you're having him talk.
I got this.
Because she's definitely interested because that can make her a lot of money, but she's also way more interested in a favor for Mac Inc. So let's see how this goes.
Do I take the advantage of if Aaron's helping me, or
Yeah, that's fine.
come on?
15. Yeah, okay. She'll accept that offer in the interest of opening a business communications between the Miners Exchange and AC Inc. This is a good starting off point. Scratching each other's backs, you know. Yeah, she can get some invitations for you.
All right. Well, that lets us get in as ourselves, so that's a good start.
Well, as you don't have to inhabit another body. Obviously, you don't want to present yourselves as AC Inc. people.
No.
Oh no.
Oh, I mean, I think we've kind of got enough of a...
Yeah.
I think we could even say, like, Noble Six is a dwarven noble who probably has family connections if we really look into it.
Yeah.
Just can't remember them.
George's date really wanted to attend.
I may even make Noble Prime show up as a guest.
Yeah. It would be so funny to find out. Headcanon, I'm really hoping that Noble Prime is actually like a really powerful wizard, and all of the nobles have been clones, but the clones keep coming out not intelligent.
What was that movie? The guy kept cloning himself, and each clone got stupider. Yeah.
But yeah, so Noble Six is representing his dwarven family. We are part of his entourage. We're trying to make sort of, mercantile connections and sort of show our respect. I was thinking I could do something potentially impressive. I could pack up a bunch of iron, and I could actually shape it into like a statue of the couple on the spot.
That would definitely that would be, depending on the situation, when you did it, could be very beneficial. Certainly wouldn't be a negative at any point.
Yeah, I think we could kind of get ourselves in the door. So at least that tells us what our approach is. And Veerheist can make things as well.
Yep. Okay, so... And of course, Flabbergast will be coming with you, but he won't be going into the wedding with you.
Cool.
He'll be overseeing things from outside.
And I was watching Howl's Moving Castle the other night, and I do think that's the perfect way. Not the actual moving castle, but there's a system of doors that open into different places, and it just seems like the most fun way for our base to travel. And maybe it's kind of ridiculous, like like fully. I mean, almost like a small like McDonald's kind of space pops open every like 30 miles at the end of each day.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, uh, where was it? Flabbergast will give you uh, he doesn't say specifically. He just says a small token bearing the symbol of Acquisitions Incorporated. So, like, we'll call it like a coin-sized token or whatever. Um, basically, if you whisper a code word into it, and this will be the code word, Whippoorwill, uh, he will hear it, and he will cast the ritual uh, and get you guys into different bodies as like a failsafe. However, when your soul goes into a different body, your normal bodies are still there. You'll either have to hide them or do something with them. But that is a last ditch effort if you need it.
I'm deeply concerned that the game seems to think we're going to need that. It implies a lack of confidence in us or a presumed difficulty. Yeah.
I think they just really don't want you to die in the.
Just trying to make all the options available.
So yeah, now I have a bit of an idea of how to proceed. Um, so that's good. That'll basically then wrap up things for tonight, unless you guys have something specific you want to discuss.
I don't got much besides the thought of we're gonna start a division amongst the dwarves.
Well, you know.
It certainly seems like that might happen.
And I'm 100% willing. I will like sacrifice my life for this one moment. Because like, just imagine the power plays when they discover we're Ack Inc. and we are the ones who caused the division amongst the dwarves that hate Ack Inc. Without them even knowing. Like,
Well, in fairness, the Durin and the Thunderwind don't necessarily hate you. Just the
people
horn.
hosting. Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
people
hosts
hosting it.
hate us. The families don't necessarily
they don't
have
care
a
about us
whatever.
either way. Yeah,
Yeah,
doesn't matter. We are still gonna do that.
still, but it's embarrassing the hosts though. That'd be
yeah.
I mean, the
So, yeah.
chaos will make it even easier to steal the gem.
Yep, this is true. We'll have to consider that an option.
So, my final question: this whole thing seems likely to take more than one session.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you guys want to play next week and then go on pause for 2 weeks in the middle of the heist? Or would you like to skip next week and start the heist when I get back from vacation?
I mean, if we spend a little time tonight, we could theoretically have the airship one shot or the airship campaign ready to start. And if you wanted to, we could play you as a PC for the first session, and then just flip you over to an NPC when you're gone.
I'm fine either way. Doing, taking more time gives me more time to prepare. It's something I could do while I'm on the plane, for instance. But I totally get if you want to start the heist or whatever. Or I'm always down to play a character.
Yeah,
So,
we'll just plan on starting the airship campaign next week.
okay. Is everybody cool with that then?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I'm just fine.
Works for me. I think we should all just go to Europe with CJ.
I'm fine with that. I have plenty of space in my Airbnb. Just no judgment when I pick up all the European honeys while I'm there.
Right. No, yes. Just make sure to put a sock on the doorknob or whatever it is that you do.
I'm not sure my Airbnb has doors. It has a door for the bathroom,
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
but it looks like a really nice place. I just don't think it has.
It's the way it's set up. It's
I'm gonna try and find it and share with you.
Oh.
Am I logged in? Log into Airbnb.
I'm trying to think of a cool name for this campaign.
Campaign name.
I like the word Horizons being in there.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Right.
Oh man,
Airshipping Horizons.
that's a really cool name, and apparently it's the name of a childcare provider. Bright Horizons.
We are like children.
This is true. Yeah. That might be part of the.
Future Horizons trips.
Anyway, I'll keep thinking about the name. So here's what I'm thinking. There's like 3 different sort of campaign systems that I wanted to mash together. Well, 3 different systems I wanted to use. And I'm thinking that it'll be fun to mash them all together. And so the idea is to take kind of the franchise system of ACK Inc., where you're... that's on the internet now.
That's just where I'm staying.
I guess it doesn't matter.
It's the Airbnb website, so it's
It's people can
wow.
find it.
Craziness. Yep.
But the plan is to smash together a sort of sandbox franchise game where you have sort of a separate role on top of your class. Roles I've got so far are accountant, mechanic, harvester, crafter, navigator, spotter, provisioner, officer, and envoy. And I might separate out crafting and harvesting because those will be a big deal. And so your airship will be sort of like your base, but also your primary means of transportation. So you'll be using a lot of your resources to like upgrade and upkeep it, because it'll be very when you start, it will be very janky, for sure. It's basically going to be a coal-powered airship. It's not going to fly real good.
So yeah, a little bit like Firefly or something.
Yeah, so you'll have to think hard in terms of like, okay, where are we going to go? Because we can only travel this far,
Yeah.
and we have to make this much money or find a place to refuel and all that. But there'll be lots of things you can upgrade on it. And your primary means of making money and getting new stuff will be hunting monsters. And so you'll have some commissions where, like, you get sent out for a specific part, basically, or specific materials, or you might get, like, a bounty of, you know, we need you to go kill 30 dire wolves. But for the most part, how you'll make money is getting valuable materials and then going and selling them places or turning them into equipment and items. A lot of this stuff y'all won't have to worry about too much. It'll be happening on kind of the back end. With that idea in mind, what sorts of characters come to mind?
Ooh, that's a.
So at our base, we're monster hunting mercenaries.
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be a rogue. I haven't been one yet. Oh God, the dog is really getting cracked up now.
Somebody's losing their mind.
Oh, geez.
Oh my!
Release the hounds.
Okay, so Hayden is thinking rogue. We'll probably start at level 3 because you're going to be sort of pushovers when you start, but
Right.
I at least want you to have your subclasses. Do you have an idea what kind of rogue you'd like to play? Like, what's the vibe of your rogue?
So I mean, we're here to try and kill things and make money. So I'm a rogue. I'm mostly here with the crew to make money. Though I'm kind of a friendly bust. I'm kind of a friendly guy because the monsters are kind of dicks, and I kind of just enjoy killing monsters. Like, I don't really care about people if the monsters kill people. It's just more like I just enjoy the thrill of the hunt.
I am thinking something kind of similar, but I would like to be an Oath of Glory paladin.
Nice.
I want the fame that comes with killing bigger and bigger monsters.
And maybe that's literally where your magic comes from. Like you literally get more powerful the more epic the thing you do is.
Yes. And I'm 100% going to be playing this person like Gilderoy Lockhart.
But are they competent at all?
Yes.
Like a competent
Okay.
Gilbert.
Well, not at first. As you said, we'll be pushovers at 1st.
So, like,
But
wildly exaggerating your accomplishments.
Yes, that's how I got put on this mission to begin with. Is I'm you think I'm way better than I am, but over time, I like to think that I will become competent.
So, I think to add to it, I think it's not just the actual glory you accumulate, but the perception of glory makes you more powerful.
Yes.
So it's not just that your character is being a jerk, but like literally by accumulating this sort of false glory, you become powerful enough to actually go get it.
Yes, it's very important to my character that not just that he does these things, but that people know he does these things.
I'm really tempted to like make you a special subclass, like the Oath of False Glory or something.
No, I think Oath of Glory will be just fine.
If it wasn't just one, if you weren't just going to be there for one session, I'd think about it.
Also, if it so happens that my incompetent Oath of Glory paladin does die, it's okay because he's incompetent.
So when it comes to rogue subclasses, there's the assassin. So you're probably not going to get to level 9 on this character, which is when you would get more subclass features. So you're really just looking at the level 3 abilities. So assassin gets disguise and poisoner's kit proficiency, and they have advantage on creatures that haven't taken a turn in combat yet, and they also score a critical hit. Any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit. There's the inquisitive, who can study their targets to get sneak attack against them.
Would a scout rogue be particularly helpful? I don't know what they offer at level 3. I'm looking it up.
That's kind of what I was looking at. I mean, it's kind of a mishmash. If you did go scout, you could potentially get either proficiency or even expertise for nature and survival checks.
Also, no opportunity attacks at level 3.
Well, yes and no, because it uses your reaction.
Well, true, but you don't. I don't think rogues really have a lot of reactions.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's like if more than one thing comes after
Yeah.
you sequentially.
Yeah,
But it will still save you a first hit, maybe.
and in theory, you could jump in and stab them, and then get out real quick and hide behind me.
Well, and so that's something to think about with the. So I'll just keep going in order. So Soul Knife, you get to throw psychic daggers, and you also get a basically a special die that you can use to basically boost skill checks, and you get telepathy. You can actually set up a telepathic connection between multiple people.
That would be cool.
Swashbuckler is another strong candidate. Swashbuckler, if you make a melee attack against a creature, they can't make opportunity attacks against you for the rest of your turn. And you add your charisma to your initiative, and you don't need advantage or an ally to use sneak attack. If you and the creature are like off by yourselves, no one else is within 5 feet, you get sneak attack. So that could be another strong candidate.
I'm definitely liking Washbuckler.
All right. It also does kind of fit the airship vibe. Harry, what are you thinking?
On that note, I'm gonna go get food.
I don't know.
And I guess one question is, what classes have you not played you want to try?
So I've played, I guess, a sorcerer. I don't really know what brick is.
Brick is technically a monk,
Yeah.
but probably closer to a barbarian. He was kind of a weird overlap that didn't exist, so he's like a monk with weird barbarian vibes.
Yeah. And then I played the barbarian and started the clerk on the one shots,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't really get to do much with it. don't know.
Is this whole setting going to be steampunky?
A little bit.
Okay.
Like it's going to be a lot about like blending magic and technology to amp up your.
I'm already looking for character art, so I'm
Nice.
just
Beastmaster Ranger could be interesting. That's what Hollow Fury was. The I don't even know where it is on here. Huh. Where's the... Huh, that's weird. The Tasha's alternate Beastmaster feature doesn't seem to be on here.
on what?
D&D Beyond.
Here.
There would be some interesting ranger options if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, I can go with the Ranger.
There's the so the Beastmaster. The big thing with the Beastmaster is it would give you a flying pet, potentially immediately. There's also the new Drake Warden, which basically it doesn't fly at level 3, but it gives you a little dragon.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
There's the I don't know that Fey Wanderer is a good vibe. Gloom Stalker is interesting. I'm tempted to use Gloom Stalker for the Gloom Stalker has this crazy feature where when they're in the dark vision doesn't apply to them. So creatures that can normally see in the dark can't see them. They're functionally invisible, which is crazy. I mean, Hunter is kind of bland. You basically would have extra damage on one attack per turn. Monster Slayer. Monster Slayer could be interesting. Wow. Hunter subclasses kind of suck. Maybe that's not fair. A lot of them have the same feature, which is that at level 3, they add damage to their first attack each round. And there's like 5 of them that have that. So maybe we'll plan on a Drake Warden.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Drake one would be great.
What's cool about the Drake Warden is even when you can't send it out to attack something, like if something's up in the air, it can basically like sit on your shoulder and add extra damage to your attacks.
Well, that'd be fantastic.
All right. Aaron, what are you thinking?
I don't know if this sounds weird or not, but I really liked the idea of being like a Warforged that like its main dedication is like keeping the ship running and everything, and so like the monster hunting is just like a means to an end for them. Like,
Yeah.
And I was trying to decide. I know, like, I still like the Artificer. I haven't been the Armorer or the Battlesmith yet, but I don't know if either of those make sense or not, or if there's some other Warforged option.
Specifically for things that are ship helpful, I mean, there is the Forge domain. There is the Clockwork Soul, which kind of sounds shippy.
Was that an artificer thing?
No, that's Clockwork
Sorcerer.
Soul is a sorcerer.
Oh, okay.
It's a good
I
source.
guess I wasn't really looking at the subclass parts of things. Yeah.
Yeah, it is known as like the most overpowered, one of the most overpowered sorcerer subclasses.
Oh, really?
Um, does anything here?
It does kind of make sense.
Let's see.
What was the other one you mentioned? Was it also a sorcerer thing, or
I think I said Forge Cleric.
Forge Cleric? Oh, okay.
You know, you should probably just go with the Death Domain Cleric.
Forge Cleric and Warforged together, you would have a monstrous AC.
Trying to think what else. is good. Yeah, I mean, Artificer's definitely in the flavor zone.
Mm-hmm.
There is also the College of Creation Bard, which I think could be reflavored in an interesting way.
I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom.
No worries.
Okay.
College of Creation Bard can, like, the College of Creation Bard can kind of bring items into being. But also, when they use Bardic Inspiration, there are all of these neat little bonuses they can give people. Something you could think about too, the College of Spirits Bard. You could sort of sand off the like creepy Ouija board vibes and reskin it as like almost like an artificer. So instead of telling stories, you like pull junk out of a bag and knock it together on the fly and make some little gizmo and like throw it out and it does something random.
Huh.
And I'm back.
Okay.
We don't have to fully lock these in. Different question. As far as roles, I think I'm going to separate Harvester and Crafter and let you all kind of pick your own specialties. So maybe everyone gets a Harvesting and a Crafting. Because those just seem too important to, like, put all on one person.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I will definitely be more into the harvesting than crafting.
Well, and
I'll
sort
be
of
a craft.
my thought is that maybe they could kind of go together of, like, you know, if you're into the skinning, maybe you're good at skinning and leatherworking.
Gotcha.
Do it sort of World of Warcraft style. Oh, hey, convenient. They have some in here.
What would taxidermy be? Because I'm definitely making trophies of all my monsters.
Skinning and cleaning.
I think that would kind of be its own thing. Like, and it wouldn't necessarily be one that I would, like, make you, like, do as your primary thing. The ones that
gotcha.
are listed, I'm looking at Hammond's Harvester Handbook.
Mhm.
And the ones they have listed are Alchemist, Artificer, Blacksmith, Leatherworker, Tinker, and Thaumaturge. So Alchemist is like potions and things, obviously. Artificer is... Huh, interesting. Why do they have these separated? Well, that's not a good setup. I'll figure out how to do this. Maybe I'll give you, like, points to spend. That way you can, like, choose where to specialize. So we'll just do that totally separate. In that case, roles on the ship. The accountant, they can make rolls to, or they have advantage on rolls to reduce costs or negotiate purchases for the ship. So if they do their job well, the ship costs less to operate, and you can get new supplies at a lower cost. Mechanics have advantage on repair rolls. They can also overclock parts of the ship during a fight, or during a time when you would need to. Navigators have advantage on navigation rolls. Spotters have advantage on watch rolls. Provisioners make special food for the ship that will give you bonuses if you use up certain special ingredients. The officer can give others advantage on ship-related roles. And the envoy has, I would say, maybe proficiency modifier, number of advantage to use when representing the ship/company for, like, charisma checks.
And we each get one roll.
Yeah. And you can, like, do the other things, because you won't need all of those roles all the time. But the person who has that role will do it better.
And what was the one about checks for the ship? The last one you said?
Envoy.
Envoy. So I think for my paladin, I would it makes sense for him to be the envoy, given I will probably have a high charisma. But I could also see a paladin being an officer. And I also like the idea of being a spotter and potentially using my channeled divinity that I'll get to navigate the ship towards rather than actually seeing it. Like I sense where the monster is.
Yeah.
So I could fill any one of those roles and would be happy doing them.
Since I went to business school, I kind of want to. I'll take the accountant.
All right.
You know, kind of a businessman.
Swashbuckler Rogue Accountant.
Are we picking races, or are those already pre-picked?
No, it's whatever you want to go with.
Oh man, I've been looking up stupid stuff at this point. A Haragon, or whatever they're called, the rabbits.
Nice.
Rabbit.
They're
That'd be
actually
great.
really good for a swashbuckler, I believe.
I don't know. I was looking up, like, I wanted to
I love
be
that.
like a monster race or something, and then I kind of
Yeah.
saw that. I was just like, you know, for a rogue, he's light
Rabbit
quick on his
monster.
streets. Look, it's a rabbit.
Yep.
He'll bounce around and sneak in and out because he's small between people's legs or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I really liked the Tabaxi Rogue or whatever that I played for like a little bit in that one campaign. That one was pretty good too.
Oh yeah, Tabaxi Rogue can be ridiculous because you can double dash and use the feline agility, and so you end up going like 180 feet in one turn.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember because I caught up with like the big bad guy that was supposed to be getting away. I mean, I didn't hit him or anything, but for the most people, he wouldn't be even close to getting to catch up to him.
Oh geez, yeah. Were you looking up like things that are overpowered when you chose Harengon?
No.
Okay, because the Harengon also add their proficiency bonus to their initiative rolls. So you would add your proficiency bonus and your charisma, which would probably
gosh.
give you like a +4 or +5
So your
on
initiative
top of your dexterity. So probably like a +8 or +9 to initiative.
Well, it's
Well,
just,
that could be useful.
I kind of want to go first, apparently.
Yeah.
No, I just
Rabbits like going fast.
races and I saw them, and then I was like, that kind of
Yeah.
a good rogue. We're
kinda
hunting
cool.
monsters. Why can't I be a monster?
Yeah.
Or not human.
Rabbit monster hunter.
Sounds good to me. What I'm going to do... what are we going to call this?
But now I gotta name them.
Oh, well, I just meant the campaign, because I have to type in a name.
Oh, yeah, you have to name the campaign. The Horizon. Oh, no, it's something Horizon.
Vertical Horizons.
Vertical.
Infinite Horizons is apparently a song by an artist named God is an Astronaut.
Named who?
God is an Astronaut, an Irish post-rock band from County Wicklow.
Well, there you go. Airship Horizons.
I think I might got his name. His name's like Haza.
There you go.
Hase, Haza. It's like I decided, you know what? Let's go German for rabbit because it always sounds weird.
Nice.
Cool.
All right. Swashbuckler, Rogue, Harengon, Accountant.
Here's a interesting image for you. The top center one.
Yep.
Huh.
So, Aaron, you were thinking Warforged?
Yes.
Did you see the Warforged meme that I posted?
Where?
I think it was on Twitter.
Oh, then no.
I haven't been on Twitter in a while. I'll have to check that.
I did not put it on Facebook. I found out I can load image flip on my phone, and it's really dangerous.
You always put it in the group chat.
Yeah, I'm sending. Oh, attachment limit reached.
Uh-oh. Oh, because it's just the cell network.
Well, I think I sent it one of them's like a video thing. We'll see if that third one sends. I was really shocked. I really thought the middle one was the funniest, and it got like 0% love on Twitter.
That's great.
Yeah, for some reason it like mangled that last one. Is it really like fuzzy on your alls?
Yeah, it's just really tiny on my screen, but because I'm using it on a computer. But
that's weird. Wonder if I can attach it as a. Huh. All right. What else? CJ, have you thought about what race you want to do?
Probably elf or half elf, because I really like that image and it looks like an elf or half elf. I emailed you.
I was just realizing I saw the email but haven't actually looked at it yet. Yeah, there is a disproportionate amount of half elf paladin art, because up until Tasha's, half elves were stupidly good.
Well, that was the only one I could find that was more of like a. It wasn't a paladin decked out in armor.
Yeah.
Like I just don't see a steampunky paladin being decked out in armor.
Yeah.
So I liked that one, and yeah.
Holy crap. Aaron, you follow 5,000 people.
yeah, I know. It's a problem. It actually doesn't let me follow anybody anymore because I need to go through and get rid of things. But I
was
just,
gonna say,
yeah, I don't know.
How do you ever actually see anything?
I don't. I mean, I know it's kind of like Facebook too, that it just kind of decides based on what I've like recently looked at. And so then that's kind of like what's in the main, feed or whatever. But yeah, I do that like everywhere. It's like, if it's even mildly interesting to me, I'm like, oh, I'll follow that. And then I never actually pay attention to it.
Whew. Okay. So, Warforged. Man, I'll tell you, Artillerist is really the one that probably makes the most sense. Except it's the one you're already doing.
The what?
The Artillerist probably makes the most sense, but it's the one you're already doing.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid the Artillerist because I was like, well, I'm already doing that one. So like, I mean, yeah, I was kind of thinking that too when I glanced at things. It's like, well, admittedly, yeah, like for an airship, an Artillerist would be a thing, but I figure it wouldn't be too weird to try something else.
I mean, Battlesmith almost makes sense, except I feel like the Steel Defender would be weird.
Oh yeah.
I just want you to use this image. It's too good.
That is very cool.
Oh, nice.
You got your little drone there
Yeah.
with you too.
That does look pretty cool.
I mean, would it be wildly... I guess we could tweak a Battlesmith to work.
Yeah, I was trying to say. I mean, I guess I really like the armorer with the Warforged. Just something about it sounds really cool. But I know that it's.
I just feel like
I
you
don't
wouldn't
know.
get to enjoy it on a ship. And
Yeah, I
like,
don't
you're
know
not
how
gonna
you-
like you're not gonna be on the ship all the time. But
yeah,
also
so
like
there's going to be like. I say there's going to be monster fights where we're just us outside of the ship fighting monsters, right? Like it's not always going to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now I found a Warforged fighter paladin, and he looks awesome. We'll keep that image for later use.
Oh man, I feel like you could do weird stuff with an Echo Knight on an airship.
What subclass is that?
That's a fighter. The
Yeah.
Echo
Oh.
Knight can. It's really bizarre, but basically it's like a.
You leave echoes of yourself.
And the
Okay.
wonky thing is, you can create them within 15 feet of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't obey gravity. So, like, you could make one 15 feet up in the air above you,
Oh, weird.
or like off the edge of the ship or something.
I didn't know about the gravity.
Yeah, you can use them to do all kinds of weird stuff.
Huh.
I like the idea of pairing that with a Genasi, though,
Yeah,
and have the echo be
Mhm.
like an element, whatever
Like
element it
elemental,
is.
floating, yeah, elemental kind of thing.
yeah. I feel like there's something you could do with it. Like, I almost feel like it works better as a ranged class, except that the Unleash Incarnation only lets you make melee attacks, which is sort of obnoxious. I had the most fun playing a Rune Knight in a one-shot, except that it was a level 11 Rune Knight. Rune Knights are ridiculous. Man, I wish they would fix Arcane Archer. Like, Arcane Archer is just weird and not great. It's such a cool idea, but their primary class ability can be used twice per rest. You never get more.
Short rest or long rest?
Either, but also, like, as a fighter, that means that you could use both on your very first attack. Oh no, sorry, it's once per turn. But still, like, it's your primary class feature, and you get to use it twice, and then you're just done.
Seems like it could be helped by making it a proficiency modifier.
That's what a lot of folks have suggested is like proficiency modifier or because that kind of seems to be the direction they're going, is more proficiency, less ability modifiers.
Yeah.
Huh. There is a German prog metal band called Horizon. Harry, what role or what race and what role are you thinking for your character?
Well, I was thinking of the mechanic.
Oh, right.
Race. I don't really know.
And what are you playing?
The ranger.
What do you think your motivation would be? And what subclass?
Drake Warden.
Drake Warden. Ooh. Are you trying to find a dragon to ride?
I mean, yeah. Eventually, I would love to. So fly in my trusty dragon and save the day.
I had a really terrible thought for a Drake Warden, for a Dragonborn Drake Warden, that I am not going to share on stream.
It'd be that bad. But I don't know the class or the race.
Ooh, I like the name Zenith Angle.
Oh, I got the name already. Because he's an archer, I have to think his name's gonna be Bobby.
His name is going to be Bobby?
Bobby.
Bobby.
Because nobody thinks archers have cool names, so you might as well have a foreign name named Bobby.
It's a very anime kind of name. I'm going to go with that for now. Blue Azimuth. I also really need to find out how content sharing works. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure that it has to be on for every single campaign I make. or if it's just to give access to the books, like separately from character creation. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Does anyone want me to make their character?
No.
I wouldn't mind that because I'm kind of terrible at that.
No worries.
That I doubt I would have any luck becoming a rabbit race.
A rat race.
Man, I'm kind of mad at myself. I didn't get caught up on Critical Role for last week. I'm only like 2/3 of the way through, so I can't start watching the new episode with everyone tonight.
Oh.
So, what do you think about
Now-
half orc for the race?
Did you say halfling?
Half orc.
Oh, I like the idea of halfling. Yeah, half orc works.
Like,
Excuse me.
Oh. So I clicked that. How do I go to the game? My campaigns, probably.
Yeah, if you click it, it should drop you in and let you make a character.
Well, on my I clicked it on my phone, but I'd like to do it on my laptop. But
Yeah, you might want to copy it into a draft email.
that would work, yeah.
well, I was hoping that since I clicked join,
Oh, yeah, it might,
Oh, it might.
but it might want you to have
Remember-
a character to
yeah,
fully
it
join.
wants me to have a character before I can join. So let's put this in an email to myself.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of. Oh, here's an interesting question: is Hesa medium or small size?
Oh, medium.
All right.
Actually, you know what? Screw it. Small.
Small rabbit.
Oh, do you get
Small
to
hunt.
choose with that race?
What?
I guess that race can be small or medium.
Yeah,
Large become obese.
rogue. Level 3. You wanted to be the accountant, so you already get. Oh man, we have a lot of campaigns going on.
Yeah, I've maxed out my characters.
What I can do, I think you can. Let me try something. Man, and you can't deactivate characters?
I don't know. I was wondering that too. Is there some kind of like archive or deactivate option? But I'm not seeing.
No, I think you have to delete them if you don't pay.
Gotcha.
Oh, let me see what happens when I hit this. Refresh and see what happened to Zermalis.
All right. Nope. My internet's been slow.
Wait, my characters are in D&D Beyond, isn't it?
Yes. Did that free up Zermalis?
Let me see. No, it's still there.
What I would do then is, I mean, Zermalis is definitely the one that we are the least likely to come back to anytime soon.
Kind of what I was thinking. I mean, I guess what I could always like take a screenshot of.
I think you can flat out export it as a PDF.
Okay. Wait, where would you do that?
I think you go to Manage, and then, yeah, Export to PDF.
Ah, nice. Okay. Just do that.
Okay. Rogue skills for his. You get perception from your class. They're going to be a little charismatic from to be a swashbuckler. Do you want any social skills, or do you just want to go straight up and down like all the dexterity skills first?
We're probably going to want to go dexterity because we're fighting monsters. I gotta be safe.
Okay, so that's acrobatics, sleight of hand, and stealth. You probably don't want athletics.
We'll probably go
Oh, there's not a.
If I'm a rabbit, I'm going to try to be jumping around and try and do some weird, cool trickery.
Yeah, I put acrobatics on there. So you've got one more to pick, and it's between deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, performance, and persuasion.
I'm the accountant, so persuasion.
All right, and you'll have 2 more skills to pick up from your background. And then you can take expertise in 2 skills, which will make them double proficiency. What do you want to take for those?
Any skills?
Any that you have so far.
Oh, expertise would be persuasion because I like to run my mouth.
Let's go ahead and add.
Oh,
all
I guess
the
there's no
skills.
create character option when you click on the join campaign thing.
There is. I think it's the
really?
very top or the very bottom.
It's not showing up for me.
Oh, did you get Zermalis deleted?
I got him deleted, yeah.
So you have another expertise to pick.
And so expertise is very much you pick one of the things you're proficient in, right? Or is it just anything?
Well, it's got to be something you're proficient in. You have 2 more proficiencies to add for your background. That can be anything.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I went. Let's go with the acrobatics, just so I'm safe on that.
all right.
I'm definitely going to try and use acrobatics.
All right, that's all your class features. I'll give you steady aim. Ability scores. We're going to give you a +2, +1. +1 will go charisma. +2 to dex. We're going to do standard array. 14.
I wish it would let me move the portrait around.
Yeah, a lot of times I have to crop it before I drop it in. Okay, so stat spread. 16 in dexterity, 16 in charisma, 12 in constitution, and you have a 13, an 8, and a 10 left to distribute between strength, intelligence, and wisdom.
We'll go 13 to strength.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not going to be that smart.
You are the accountant, though.
Maybe let's actually go to 13 to intelligence.
Well, maybe he's like an idiot savant or something. You know, for some reason he's
We'll
really
go
good at
10
accounting. But
strength, 8 wisdom.
Yeah, there you go. So it's you're reasonably smart, but you just have like bad, you know, sort of intuition and impulse control. That sounds like that sounds like a good character choice for you.
That does sound like me.
So you have 2 slots left for skills. Out of animal handling, arcana, you've already taken persuasions. We'll leave the others off. So animal handling, arcana, history, insight, investigation, medicine, nature, religion, or survival. And you can take 2 of them.
All right, we're gonna go nature and investigation.
All right. And 2 tool proficiencies.
Oh. Wait, let's go with like a book and quill because I'm an accountant.
All right, that'll be a calligrapher's supplies. What else?
And why not have a lockpick because I'm still a rogue?
Oh, you've already got thieves' tools from your class, so you can take something else too. What kind of crafting do you think they'd want to do?
Oh, what? It'd probably be like what would I craft? The accountant. I'm not. What would be a good thing to craft?
So as a
Are we doing
rogue,
standard array or point by?
standard array. So if you went, I think what I'll do is I'll use your tool proficiencies as a starting point for harvesting and crafting proficiencies. Oh no, I guess it'll just be for crafting because the others are already included in your skills. So alchemy would help you with maybe like making potions. That would be alchemy, brewer supplies, or poison. Leatherworking would be leather armor. Smith's tools would be metal armor and weapons.
If you went with like leatherworking, would it also be like, say we kill a monster, I skin it, and I'm proficient like trying to tan the hide and actually have it to sell or use?
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly the vibe.
We'll go with that.
All right. And I'll give you some starting equipment. But I'll probably add some neat little bonuses. Okay, that character is up and running. I will go ahead and give you studded leather. So there's that one. I'll re-deactivate that Tarascon Flats. I have like 4 different Tarascon Flats.
you know, so I figured it out. Like I started a character just using my account, but didn't do anything. And then when I went back to join, I just chose that blank character, and so I'm doing it that way. So I'm in now. But I still haven't decided what class.
I'm talking to a muted microphone. What is the name of the half orc Drake Warden going to be?
It wasn't he going to be Bobby?
That's right. Anything else? Is that like Robert Bobby something?
Bobee. He's a half orc. He's not good at spell.
Bobby.
We'll see how the intelligence shakes out.
Bobee.
This isn't just some extended King of the Hill joke, is it?
No. I didn't really think about that. I'll be honest.
Dang it, Bobby.
Now that you said that, can he be in charge of feeding the fire? I know it's not propane, but coal is close.
I mean, he's the mechanic, so
I did choose mechanic.
Can you have a secondary goal of wanting to create something better than coal, and you come up with propane?
oh, there's definitely all kinds of other fuel sources. You all just don't have
We're just
the
at the very
engine for
basic.
it.
Yeah.
You have like a really crappy energy core that's very inefficient at the start.
We need the Iron Man repulsor things that he added to.
Nope, we're getting propane. I saw propane and only propane.
That's your dream, to have a propane powered ship.
All right. Do you want me to make that character?
Yeah.
All right. Proficiencies. Your list for your class is animal handling, athletics, insight, investigation, nature, perception, stealth, survival.
Animal handling.
Makes sense. You're going to have I assume you're going to want, well, I guess you could be a melee ranger if you wanted to.
I was going to go with the bow.
Okay, so probably dex leaning skills. You'll also have decent wisdom. So probably not athletics. I mean, insight will come up occasionally, but not as much maybe in other kinds of games. So probably you want to choose between investigation, which is an intelligence skill and you might not be the best at. Nature is also intelligence, but would be very fitting for a ranger. Then there's perception, stealth, and survival.
Well, nature would be fitting. Stealth would be handy. Perception would be handy.
And you'll pick up a few more from other features. So maybe let's see how many more you'll pick up. Would you rather have... So you have a choice at level 1. You can either take Favored Enemy, which gives you some advantages in knowing about and tracking certain kinds of creatures. Or you can trade it for something called Favored Foe, which basically lets you add extra damage, sort of like a weaker Hunter's Mark, but it doesn't cost a spell. Would you rather have that or Favored Enemy?
So favorite enemy means I'm...
you'd be like, I'm really good at hunting dragons. I know lots of stuff about dragons, and I know how to track them. That'd be sort of the vibe. Favored
Gotcha.
foe is more generic, and it's like once you target an enemy and you hit them again and again, you do more damage.
So probably favorite foe would be handy.
All right. So you have something similar. You can either choose favored terrain, in which case you'd do really well navigating in certain kinds of environments, which could be handy. Or you can replace it with the more generic Deft Explorer. Deft Explorer gives you expertise in one of your skills, and then some movement bonuses later. Oh, that's crazy. I never read this far. Deft Explorer at level 10, every time you finish a short rest, your exhaustion level drops by 1. Considering how hard it is to remove exhaustion, that's kind of crazy.
And you said we're starting at level 3.
Yeah.
Why did his name not save?
For skill proficiencies from your background, maybe perception and survival. So you're good at spotting stuff and tracking stuff.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And actually, then if you go back for Deft Explorer, you could take survival for your expertise. So you'd be very, very good at tracking things.
Yeah, so we'll go with Deft Explorer, and I guess survival and perception would be great.
What kind of damage? So your Drake can be acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison. Which do you want it to be sort of by default? You can change it every time you summon it.
By default, I want lightning.
Mechanically, a very good choice. Fire, cold, and poison are resisted by a lot of things.
I also like the idea of lightning in an airship. Seems to be thematically.
Yeah. And that's something you could theoretically do later is adapt the engine to take advantage of ways of charging that you all have innately. We probably want to stick with Primeval Awareness. Okay, abilities. Standard Array. And what was your other? Wisdom and Dexterity. Okay, so your primary stats will be Dexterity for your ranged attacks, Wisdom for your spells, Constitution for health, obviously. You have an 8, 10, and 12 left for Strength, Intelligence, and Charisma.
Charisma put at 10, I think. I want to say 12 for strength.
All right.
And I guess 8 for intelligence.
All right. Tool proficiencies. If you're going to be the mechanic, probably Tinker's tools.
Yeah.
And maybe Smith's tools.
Tinker, Smiths.
We'll give you some equipment. You've already got a +3, so you'll want studded leather. I'll give you an explorer's pack. Bobby. Huh. Okay. So Bobby and Hasa. Yeah, are both made. Those are in the campaign waiting for you. So I'll sort of set up your default ship. I think what I'll say is... So I'll say your ship has basically like the worst in everything, except we'll say that it has one category where it's okay and one where it's actually good. What would you all want those to be?
Say that again?
So you all are not going to be starting with a good airship.
Right.
So unless otherwise noted, you're going to get like the most basic of everything. But I'm going to say that you get one area where the ship is okay, one area where the ship is good, and then I think I'll let you all pick one special room for the ship.
What is a special room?
So my plan is, so the categories are things like the hull, which will determine your ship's hit points, armor, and any resistances and immunities. Environmental systems. That's probably not worth messing with yet. There's your energy core, which determines how efficiently you use fuel, how much fuel you can store, how much energy it creates. There's your engine, which is how fast you travel. There's your maneuvering system, which is... I'm probably going to combine those. Because I don't really know what they would do apart from each other. There's weapons. And then navigation and communication. What do you think your ship would be decent at?
I say fuel. If you have Bobby Hill, the prodigy of Ankill from propane.
All right. Well, in that case, I will go ahead and upgrade you to... I don't want to actually call it propane. I'm going to find an appropriately interesting sounding name for it.
Kerosene.
Let's see.
Alchemist gas.
It's funny you say that. I think we'll call it an alkanite gas. What would you all like to name your ship? So I know what to call it.
The Dawn Rider.
I go with that.
It's not the worst joke name that has ever happened, so we'll roll with it. Now I'm going to copy all of the options and then mark off all the things you all don't have. All right. So,
Does anybody have any healing spells?
No.
it will depend on what Aaron ends up picking.
I don't know if because right now I'm set as the other Warforged Armorer, so I don't think he starts out with. Oh, I always do that. I miss this choosing the spells part. Like I skip right past it. I haven't chosen spells yet.
It almost feels like it should be its own page, and then it just isn't.
Yeah, because you have to remember to click on the down arrow thing, and then you see it. Yeah.
I'll just do my. I'll take a Cure Wounds for now. That is not a super glorious thing to do.
Okay, so your good upgrade is going to be your energy core, which is going to be an alkanite gas core. I'll decide what in the world that means. So that's your good upgrade. So what is it okay at?
What makes sure it doesn't fall out of the sky?
Probably the engine.
So we're good on that then.
Well, so your energy core and your engine are separate. So the energy core is producing the energy. The engine is actually using it to move around.
I vote for that because I don't want to fall out of the sky, guys.
And
She don't look like much, but she's got an engine in her.
what sort of propulsion would you like the ship to have?
Monkey. I don't know.
Just like fans, I guess, propellers.
I'm almost wondering, to keep up the propane theme, I'm almost imagining a ship with like 10 like little like adjustable propane burners on the underside, like little jets that hold it in the air,
Cool
and
with
then a couple on the back that push it along.
little green canisters.
Yeah. Well, I was almost thinking like almost like little like a propane grill turned upside down.
I can dig it. Does our ship have wings, or is it got a balloon?
That would be up to you all. I was actually kind of thinking you could you wouldn't even necessarily have to have, because if they're slightly adjustable, they could like tilt the ship one way or the other.
Gotcha.
So we'll just say basic engine for now, and I'll figure out what in the world that means. All right, that means that you have a poor hull. You have poor environmental systems. which means that if anything starts to affect like the temperature or breathable air, you might start to have an issue faster than otherwise. Weapons, by default, you're basically just going to have I think with there only being 4 of you and there being other stuff to do, we'll say 2 ballistas, basically.
I mean, I could try and make it a 5th.
Continuing to tilt at the windmill of Mr. Perkle.
We could, or I know my roommate, he was big into D&D and his group kind of kicked him out.
Well, now I have to ask, why did they kick him out?
Oh, easy. He goes to school up in Northwest, and they meet in person in Kansas City, and they were like, it's too awkward to do it online.
Oh.
So he got the boot until he moves back to Kansas City.
I mean,
It's not awkward to do it online. Do you guys think this is awkward?
I'm okay with
No.
it. I've got used to it.
Yeah,
Kind of handy.
I mean, I do like playing at a table, but it's
Yeah,
not
I
really
mean,
an
both
option.
have their-
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't ask if it was better than playing at a table. I asked if it was awkward.
Eh.
I don't think it is.
I'm always awkward, so that's kind of just more.
I like to make everything
Right.
awkward.
I can be awkward in person too, so I mean, I don't think it's going to matter.
try and find out if they're interested, and we'd be looking at 3 Thursdays.
I can text them that right now.
I know you're there, dog.
All right, I got it. My Warforged name is Ron Mop.
Is what?
I don't know. I just clicked random several times, and then one of the options was Ron Mop, and so I was like, that just seems kind of fitting for a.
Like Ron space mop?
It's all one name, Ron Mop, all one name, but it's Ron Mop. Put
All right.
together. I was very amused by that. But for a Warforged that likes to maintain a airship, I figured it kind of fit. I don't think I missed anything, because I went back and got the spells.
So we're just going to call your whole metal plating, parentheses, poor. One day, I will learn how to not be this crazy person who just invents entirely new systems.
Because it seems like fun at the time.
Yep. So with a poor communication system, you'll only be able to communicate short range.
Wow.
That's all right. We only need to talk to each other.
You'll also have poor accommodations.
We're gonna have to fix that real quick.
We're going to call this bunks. You have bunks. Your mess. Well, I'll say this. You can upgrade here. So you have one sort of room upgrade. So you could have. That's not going to be helpful. You could have a built-in crafting area that specializes in a specific area of crafting. You could have a harvesting area that either makes harvesting a little easier in general or helps you harvest specific kinds of unusual things. Specifically, I have listed hazardous harvest, so like stuff that could explode or poison you or something. Delicate harvest, things that are easily wrecked if you mess with them, or heavy harvest, things like like thick armor plating on a monster that would be hard to remove. You could improve the bridge, which would be sort of the command area. You could improve the deck, which is what you'd be sort of fighting on. We could talk about what kind of improvement you would want. You could have cold storage or hazardous storage. You could have like cells either for creatures or people. You could have like a live cargo area, sort of like stables. You could have a medical facility, which would let you maybe heal up when you come back to the ship. Anything sound particularly tasty there?
I would definitely. My character would definitely want the harvesting one, something that helps him harvest or preserve his trophies. But I'm open to whatever everyone else would want.
I kind of want harvesting as well, due to the fact that it would make our lives a little easier and getting things to sell. And then once we start selling stuff, it just compounds into us doing better.
Selling? We're not selling our trophies. I need to display them.
Well, hopefully we have enough stuff killed that you can display whatever you want, but we are selling some of it because we need money.
All right. Do you want specialized harvesting, or do you want like just better?
Probably let's just go generic, just better.
Yeah.
All right. So mark all these others off. Although I guess some of these you would still have. They're just basic. I guess I need to like mentally work through how big the ship is.
It's like a canoe.
Well, my plan is that it's also like your base.
2 canoes strapped together.
We're feeling real
Your
brave.
canoes with a piece of plywood.
Let's see.
It always throws me that we have the same first initials, Colby.
Womp womp.
But yeah, I was looking at the campaign page and it said DM CJ, and I was like, no, I'm not.
MC.
All right. Let's find some airship art. I suggested something so bizarre. I can't imagine that there is like pre-existing art of it.
Does anyone have any artist friends that are looking for practice?
I could throw it out on Twitter, but I always feel like a jerk. Like, I don't know. And it's weird because I would probably write stuff for free for people, but I feel bad asking for people to, like, make art for free.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know.
That's why I was asking if anybody had any friends that are looking for practice. Like I've been saying, man, I need something to draw.
This one is not... I mean, it's too nice compared to what you all will have, but... it at least has, like, clear gas jets on it. I will say, there's something very satisfying about, like, figuring out the exact combination of search terms that, like, suddenly unlocks exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Now, will this make things better or worse?
Well, I'll keep hunting. Jeez. Here's an airship with just, like, a giant rocket jet on the back. So I'll probably try and build it out on Dungeon Alchemist. We'll see how well that works. Oops. I guess one thing I could do too is just look at ship art and figure out how big it should be.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be huge.
Well, I'm pretty sure y'all can't afford huge.
Not yet. Someday it'll be huge.
Just give me a little bit.
I mean, what's funny is it's tempting to start you all at like with like way too much, just to be like, look at all the cool things that this ship can, you can do with this ship system. Except it's like, oh wait, no. Like rich people can do that.
Yes.
You can almost make it to the next town, and you might not land under your own power.
You know.
Oh. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to get off of here, and I'll send you all more details as I come up with things. If you send me any kind of background, that'll help me to, even if it's just sort of vague ideas, I'll shoot you back something, and we'll put together a little thought on your character, and I'll put together some kind of magic item for each of you.
Sounds good.
All right, then I will plan on us. What I'll probably do is send you all like a list, kind of the same format as the game will actually run, of like, here's a list of hunts you can go on based on where you're at, and let you all sort of pick from the list.
All right, and I'll keep you informed on the potential William.
Sounds good. All right, y'all.
All right.
Peace.
See ya.
Peace.
Yeah.